Hello, hello, and welcome. I'm Sheila Balgobin, known as the Dream Decipherer, and this is Dream Your Life, Live Your Dream Live, where we talk about all things dreams. Now, today we're going to take a look at dreams from a different perspective, and in terms of gender, and how our gender, as well as other factors, it can impact the way men and women dream. Now, we would imagine that men and women, being different creatures and having different biologies, would have different types of dreams. And according to a professor by the name of Patrick McNamara, who's a professor of neurology and psychology, men and women dream differently in several ways. While women tend to dream more often, recall their dreams more often than men, they also report more nightmares. Men, on the other hand, dream more about other men, and their dreams are more aggressive and sexualized. And given, again, the biology and evolutionary factors in that influence our emotions and our behavior, these differences aren't particularly surprising. And it's suggested that sexual selection and war have shaped the dreams of men and women over time. For example, men may have developed dreams about competing with other men for females or fighting with enemies for survival. Women, on the other hand, may have evolved to dream more about interactions and relationships as well as potential threats and danger. Now, biology, however, isn't the only thing that's impacting how men and women dream. There was another article that was published about cognition and personality, found that our sexual roles, our sexual orientations can also impact how we dream and what we dream about. Now, this is despite our biological sex. It's how people perceive themselves and their interaction in the world. Now, what researchers have found was that people who scored high on a scale of femininity versus masculinity had a tendency to have more social and emotional dreams, while those who identified more in a masculine scale focused more on masculinity in and of itself, and their dreams would be more aggressive and sexual in nature. Now, all of this supports the hypothesis of dreaming, which states that dreams reflect our experiences and what life experiences and our personality. So our dreams are also being influenced by how we're socialized and our cultures, which can also impact our gender identity and our expectations about how we walk around in the world. So, to give you an example, women are maybe encouraged to be more expressive, more emotional and empathetic, while men are taught to be more assertive and independent. Now, broadly, in a broader sense, women's dreams and men's dreams are quite different from one another. According to various research studies that have been done, women dream more often than men and can remember their dreams more easily. For example, if a woman is woken up in the middle of a dream, 95% of those women will be able to tell the storyline and recall what was going on in the dream. Only around 80% of men do that. And it also seems that women's dream for longer periods. Their dreams seem to be twice as long as those of men. Now, with regard to the content of the dreams, it seems that women have a tendency to dream more about people they know, whether they're male or female, while the settings are usually indoors and familiar or known to the dreamer. Men, on the other hand, their dreams are usually set outdoors and center around other male characters that may or may not be unfamiliar. Now, the action in these dreams, these male dreams, usually involve other males, which are displaying some kind of aggressive behavior towards the dreamer. So you could say, in general, that men's dreams are much more active, much more violent or aggressive than those of women who have gentler dreams. Now, while men's dreams are more hostile and feature competition with other men, women are more likely to dream about bringing people together, harmonious relationships with individuals of either sex, whoever happens to be populating their dream. Now, men, as we've been saying, dream more about physical aggression, and women are more likely to dream, if they dream of aggression at all, it's about verbal aggression, being verbally abused as opposed to physically. In a study that was conducted by the University of the West of England in Bristol, also discovered that women have a tendency to have nightmares more than men. And over a 5-year period during which the study took place, people were asked to report whether they were having nightmares. 19% of men reported having nightmares compared to 34% women, or nearly double. So it's a good suggestion here to stop and to say that keeping a journal, it doesn't have to be very fancy. You don't have to write War and Peace, but jotting down bullet points when you have dreams can help to actually decipher what the message is and why you're having these disturbing dreams. Now, there's a even broader umbrella under which dreams can fall, and it looks at it. It was a large study that looked at race, class, as well as gender, and how that influenced people's expectations and dreams about the future. Now, this particular study was done with over 200 participants who live in the U.S., and they found that their dreams were limited or restricted in very specific ways. When people were asked about their expectations and their dreams, literally their dreams for the future, all kinds of people were interviewed, whether they were newlyweds, new parents, people starting new jobs, recent immigrants, etc. And what they found was that people who have had serious hardships, such as dealing with homelessness or poverty or serious medical diagnoses, these things also played a role in what people dreamt about and how they viewed the world. And this is where there's a divergence, where we know that whereas men versus women, rich versus poor, white versus non-white, old versus young, all of these things have a role to play in how we perceive the world and how we dream. And it seems that a person's social standing will also create inequities or inequalities in the person's mind, which can actually create blockages and disturbances in the dreams. And so women in these cases were more likely to identify with traditional womanhood, or notions about traditional womanhood, things relating to family, children, harmonious relationships in the family, and hoping to improve their physical appearance. Men, on the other hand, were more likely to dream of adventure and fame, wealth and power, things that are considered traditional manly, quote-unquote, pursuits. also seems to be a difference in general attitude. Women tended to be more varied, committed, and optimistic in their dreams than were men. So from all of this, we can always just confirm what is already known, that men and women are two different creatures, even though we inhabit the same planet, and that how we are in ourselves, how we see ourselves in relation to other people, and our day-to-day experiences will all have an impact on how we dream. So that people who are more on the masculine scale, whatever their gender, physical gender may be, have more aggressive dreams and confrontational dreams, whereas those who identify more with the feminine side, whatever their physical gender, will have dreams that stress relationships and harmony, and perhaps more traditional female values, being kind, loving, etc. So there you have it. You might want to have a conversation with your other half about their dreams, and how their dreams are a reflection of who they are and how they walk about in the world. It may not solve anything, but it certainly would make for a lively debate. Thank you so much for watching and listening. Have a great rest of the day, and I'll see you again soon. Take care. Bye-bye.